Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is Friday, May 20th, 2022. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, couldn't jump on, had some things I had to do in the morning, so it looks like it was probably a good morning to not trade. If we go back to yesterday, it was just a total disaster. Um, Went back later on that morning and I went, wow, I'm happy that I did not trade this morning. I mean, it was just more ambivalent sideways chop. I don't know how the how the volume was, but total garbage. And if you just zoom out and look at the whole day, it was just a total chop fest. So hopefully we're gonna get take the exit and get the hell out of Chop City here this morning. Um, you can see we tried to push out of the range and push up to a higher high here, but we got rejection right at the 38 retracement of the whole sell-off. So let's take a look at all this stuff. Jump up to the higher time frames and take a look at all these levels that we're working with. Um, I want to real quickly just jump up to the daily chart and mention that we do technically have a nice bullish divergence off the low from yesterday. So we basically got a double bottom here, guys. Remember our last study session, we were talking about peak above and fail, peak below, and bounce price formations, and we mentioned double tops, double bottoms. That, for all intents and purposes, even though it's off by 4 ticks, is basically a double bottom with a nice bullish divergence. So this morning, like I said, if you zoom in here and take a look, we did break up through the previous daily high, but came right into that 38% retracement of this whole sell-off from the highs back around, I don't know, let me get the actual number, 40.95 all the way down to the low that we made in yesterday's market. The 38 retrace is exactly where we just got this rejection or this minor pullback for now. Um, Outside of that, don't really have anything else to mention up here on the daily. Outside the fact that that previous daily candle does look like a reversal bar, just like we mentioned all the way back on May 12th here, going into the 13th, we did have a clue for a potential bullish breakout. Of course, I've been saying now for ever since we started selling off here that any type of bounce that we get, I'm skeptical of a breakout. So even though there might be some follow through by the bulls to actually try to break out, we were skeptical on every single one. And basically, that's how it's gone, right? Every time there's an attempt, we get up, test one of the previous highs, and then fail, where we don't even get up to that previous high and we fail. So this morning, same deal. We've got another nice bullish kind of formation going on off the lows right now, but any type of bullish breakout, I'm very skeptical of. So let's get into some other levels. I want to look at the 4-hour chart here and just point out that the major eye level that we've had mapped out for months now at 39.45, and remember it was basically 39.50, 39.45, 39.40, that little 10-point range right there was our major eye level. And we came down and held it for a little while back at around May 10th, May 11th, broke down below it, tried to break through and held, and then eventually got up through it, pulled back, held the back end at 39.50 and got this breakout to the upside. We came right into our next major eye level here around 40.80. In fact, I think we have it labeled as a minor eye level and got a little peak above and then failed right back through it and came down. And now we just broke below 39.45 again as of yesterday, and then came back up and we can't get through 39.45, 39.50 once again. So this morning it's going to be important, first things first, to get right up through the 38 retracement and again that major eye level area. So let's get into all the specific levels coming into the open here. We'll go down to our 60-minute chart and let's scrutinize all this stuff in here. So nice multiple time frame bullish signal from our double bottom that I want to reiterate. We do have a multiple time frame signal. That's what that yellow dot is. I've been adding those to the chart now every time I notice at least the 4-hour and the hourly. And if we do end up getting the daily on top of it, which we do have today, that's just icing on the cake. So remember back 2 days ago, we said off the highs of the overnight session, we had a multiple time frame bearish signal. And that's why when we came into the open, I told you guys my expectation was for a pullback. I wasn't sure how far it was going to go. And sure enough, from that multiple time frame signal, we got this major sell off. And now we've got that counter signal off that low. So I want to emphasize that we do have it, but we have bounce from 38.50 to 39.50 here for 100 points. So that might be all we get out of that signal. But the potential for follow through is there. So let's get into these levels now. We've already highlighted the area that we're having trouble getting through right now. That is the major eye level at 39.45 with the two minor levels on either side of it. A little bit further up, let's talk about the bullish case this morning. If the bulls end up holding from one of the levels down below here, or even from the OPL here this morning, we have to get through, obviously, this pocket that we're stuck at right now. If the bulls end up breaking on through there, we've got the 50% retracement coming up basically exactly to the tick where we have this major swing low back here that I have marked here. So that major swing low is 39.75.75. And then if you remember back to a couple days ago, all of this support right over in this little area right here, right around this major swing at 39.79. Look how many times the market came right into this level or right into this area, like within this little 5 point range, and bounced and bounced and bounced and then got a nice follow through from there. I do think that coming up through to that back end of that now is going to be a potential trouble spot for the bulls if they can make it up there. So that would be a pocket I would expect to find some resistance, just like the pocket down over here. So we've got that, and that is 39, I guess 75, 39.75.50, right up to that other swing around 39.79.50 for a little 4 point pocket there. There is a swing back over here that I haven't marked, sitting right around 39.59.50. I should probably mark this because there's a potential that that is as far as they get this morning. And remember, we get a lot of peak above and fail formations lately. So even though the bulls might pull back here and then start ripping higher, wouldn't be surprising to see them come up and do a peak above and then fail and start coming back down. We'd like to see, if that happens, one of our nice bearish price patterns. So we'll see if that arises. A little bit further up from the 50% retrace and this major swing area, we're going to be pushing up into this 39.95 to 39.97 pocket. And let me just take a look at something here. I'm going to get rid of this 39.95. Trying to take a look at something here. I'm going to get rid of that right there. But basically we have this little pocket here, 39.95 to 97, and then a little bit further up, and it's the 61.8 retracement of this whole sell-off. So the 61.8 retracement of the whole sell-off is basically at 4,004. I think it's like 4,375. So that 4,004 to 4,005 area also a nice little pocket that I would expect there to be trouble for the bulls. Any further from there, we've got a minor level at 40.23. We've got another swing sitting right here at 40.29.75. And then we have that 40.42 pocket. From there, it's right back to the minor eye level at 40.80, which if you look back to, what was it, a day or two ago, and you look at what happened here, the price market came up to 40.80, got a little minor peek through it by a point or two, pulled back from it, got a peek above, pulled back, and then for 1, 2, 3 tests, could not get through 40.80 and then failed from there and pushed lower. So coming back up into that area, you never know if there's going to be more cooperation from the bears up there. So we've got 40.80, 4108, and then we're right back to the next major eye level at 4142. Now, do I expect us to push another, what is this, over 100 points higher? I don't expect that, but remember, you never know what the market's going to do. It doesn't have to make sense. We could be getting a message that Russia just started a nuclear war and this thing could start ripping higher, believe it or not. So we've got that. And then let's talk about what we're going to be pulling back into here. Maybe I should jump down to the 10-minute chart to look at all the stuff we're going to pull back into here on this, basically all the stuff from yesterday, which was again a major chop fest. So if we do pull back through the orange power level that we're kind of contending with right now, we're right back into Chop City. So on the pullback, we are holding right now. I believe if you look at just the retracement for this morning, so from the low of the day, including extended trading hours, up to the high of the extended trading hours, we're sitting right at the 38 retracement of the leg. Do I want to emphasize the 50 and the 61 of this smaller leg? Not really, but just be aware that the 50% retrace is just about 39.24, and then the 61 is right around 39.18 there. I'm not going to focus on it, but we do have those two levels there, and then it's right down into the major eye level at 39.1450. A little bit further from there, we've got the 50% retracement of this whole push up from the low of yesterday all the way to the overnight high. And remember, if we end up pushing higher this morning out of the open, we're going to have to redraw that fib, so these levels might change. But if we don't, and the market starts pulling back, we've got the 50% retrace of the whole push from the low of yesterday to the high of the overnight session, sitting right here at 39.0275. And then the 61.8 retracement sitting here at 38.9175. Okay, so that's kind of the major fib from the low to the high. And then we have some pockets I want to talk about. The first pocket is the close of yesterday, sitting right near the 50% retracement of yesterday. That little pocket there, basically, I think it's 38.98 to 38.9975. It wouldn't be a surprising level for a potential bounce or micro bounce. And then a little bit further down, there's a pocket right here at 38, I think it's 69.50 to 70, basically 38.70 to 38.73. And that pocket is a level that we don't have marked as like a minor level, but I do think it makes sense if you zoom out and you look at what happened right there around 38.70 to 72, 73 area. It was a major support back on the 12th. And then once we broke down below it there, it was like this area of chop back over here, if you can see where my cursor is. And then once we appreciably got out of that area and then came all the way back, look what happened. It bounced first, got a really, really nice bounce there after this major sell-off, and then came back down to curl down through it. And then if I zoom in a little bit, you can see that we kind of found resistance right there, and then the market broke out above it, and that became a support level for 3 tests. And then we broke out to the upside. So that little pocket there, something's going on there, right? Whatever it is, whatever theoretically is going on, there's something going on right in that little pocket. Now, does it mean that it has to react there? Are we 100% guaranteed to get a bounce out? Absolutely not. But it's an area that we want to be aware of as the market starts to trek lower here, or if it starts to trek lower here. So that should give you an idea of the major expected levels of support here on the way down. And then remember that we talked about if the market does break out through the overnight high and gets through our major eye level, we talked about what we would expect as resistance above. What else do we have to talk about here? Basically, what do we have below? And To be perfectly honest with you, I don't feel the need to really go through this stuff because it's the same levels I've been mentioning for 2 weeks in a row, right? So if we do end up breaking through the overnight low, or the previous daily low, I'm sorry, and price gets down through there, we'd be targeting into all the levels that we've been talking about for a few weeks now down below. And so that kind of concludes our Friday pre-market. I don't think that there's really much else to mention here. I think we've got everything we need to know about. And then remember, as far as orientation goes, holding above 50% of yesterday, above the close of yesterday, holding above the orange power level, and holding above the high of the overnight session here and the high of yesterday. These are all clues that maybe the bulls are gaining some momentum here. But once we get down through those levels and we get through the 50% retrace of yesterday, it looks like we're probably going to be coming back to retest the low of yesterday and maybe even head lower. And remember that overall, our bias in the room here is lower. That is until we get bullish momentum, and we'll just have to switch our bias and go with what the market is doing. So that's it. I think we've covered everything you need to be aware of. And until Monday, have a great day, have a great weekend, have a great trading morning. And remember, trade smart. If the market isn't really moving, really doing anything trending, and it's just popping back and forth, be careful. And unless that's your game and you're all about trading a balanced market, then that might be the perfect conditions for a really good trading morning. So have a good one to all those who are watching out on YouTube and anywhere else. We're going to jump down to our short time frames here, get with our members. So take care.